When people think of the classic singer, I think they pictured the larger-than-life soprano with a mouth opening that could catch an albatross. That big, wide open mouth may look impressive, but is that the best position for efficient singing?
Sound check. Check 1, check 2.
Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Dan. Welcome to Voice Essentials. One of my first singing experiences was in my primary school choir. I can still hear the choir director encouraging us to open our mouths so more sound could come out. The funny thing is, no matter how hard we tried to create cavities the size of the Grand Canyon, we couldn't increase our volume. Actually, my memory, albeit many decades ago, is that our sound got worse. Wider mouths seem to reduce the quality of our singing. Now, I suspect that many of you have been taught the same, either in a choir or by a singing teacher. The instructions to widen the mouth is not that uncommon, but the instructions' popularity certainly doesn't make it right.
Sound check.
Along with your tongue, lips, hard and soft palates, your jaw is a part of your articulatory system. Your jaw also plays its part in adjusting the vocal tract for the improvement of resonance. But what I find with most developing singers is an unrelenting need for the jaw to be the primary articulator and resonance enhancer. And this is where the all too easy mistake is often made. I find it helpful to instruct the relegation of importance of the jaw to secondary at best. You see, when your jaw becomes too involved, it will want to dominate the space. The primary task of the jaw, or mandible as it's anatomically known, is mastication or chewing. Chewing requires tremendous amounts of force and pressure, and this in turn means that the temporomandibular joint, that point at which your jaw attaches to your skull, is one of the more powerful joints in your entire body. But the jaw's strength also carries some innate weaknesses. It's big, strong, and cumbersome. So as far as articulation goes, it often doesn't move fast enough to provide enough clarity in our diction. And the tongue is a far more agile and nimble articulator. Unfortunately, the tongue can be very lazy. So if your jaw is acting as a primary articulator, your tongue will just sit back and do as little as possible. Now, secondly, the temporomandibular joint also sits in line with the pharynx, the back of the throat. So when we overextend the opening of our mouths, not only does the front of the jaw drop, the rear of the throat narrows. A narrow pharynx equates to poor resonance and heightened vocal fatigue, due in part to the acoustical overloading of the vocal folds. Acoustic overloading occurs when the sound carried on air hits a narrowed space, and in this case the pharynx, and as a result, by virtue of pressure, turns around and travels back down the vocal tract, thus overloading the vocal folds. It's like having an elephant sit on your hands while you try to play piano. It's labour intensive and it'll fatigue your voice at a higher rate. To put it simply, a big wide open mouth doesn't enhance your sound. It kills it. Fortunately, I've got a great little activity that will help you to experience the wonders of clear diction and full tone, all with a neutral jaw.
Sound check.
Now, very quickly before I give you the exercise, I just want to qualify what I mean by the word neutral. When I talk about a neutral jaw, I don't mean we're going to aim at a fixed position. For example, think of the difference between the position of neutral in an automatic car as opposed to that of a manual car. The automatic gearbox has a fixed position that locks into place. The manual gearbox has a neutral position that has far more play in it. And that's the free position we're aiming at when we work towards a neutral jaw. We certainly don't want it to be fixed. We want to have some free movement in it without any tension. So here's the activity, and it's super easy. Using your favourite singing exercise, simply place your pinky in between your top and bottom rows of teeth, just off to the side of centre. And for those of you who have my vocal exercise CD, exercise 1 and 3 are really good for this. Let me show you using exercise 3. We'll do it on the keyboard, but of course you can use the track in your own time. Now, but before I do, a couple of instructions. Firstly, don't allow your jaw to bite. The whole idea is for the jaw to remain connected to the pinky without dropping or biting. And secondly, be sure to sit your tongue in behind your bottom front teeth. Okay, let's do a few phrases together from the exercise 3. Here we go. Ya, 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 ya. If you're used to having a big wide open jaw, then you may find that it requires quite a bit of intentional thought to maintain the neutral position. As a second step, try singing your favourite song using your pinky to maintain a neutral jaw position. It's hard, but the benefits to your resonance are amazing. One final thing, please don't misunderstand what we're aiming to do here. I'm not suggesting that your jaw should never drop into a wider opening than what normal speech might require, for example. What we're seeking to achieve is a far more efficient and moderate middle of the range position. Wider jaws are sometimes required, but even those wider mouth positions are often not as cavernous as you might first expect. Again, the key word here is neutral, not fixed. As always, leave me a comment and let me know how you go with the exercise, and take a moment to share the video with your friends and fellow singers on your social networks. Finally, if this is your first Voice Essentials video, welcome. I'm gratified that you watched the video all the way to the end. I hope you've gotten something from our time together. We'd love for you to subscribe and join our ever-growing community of singers from across the globe who, just like you, want to develop their voice and improve their sound. But for now, until I see you in the next Voice Essentials video, I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.